Democrats tonight taking stock after their decisive defeat in the White House race and Senate races as well. Kristen Welker is here. Kristen, you've been talking to your Democratic sources. What other takeaways are they dealing with?
Well, Lester, I have been speaking to multiple lawmakers, one telling me this is a moment of reckoning, another saying the entire party needs to do some serious soul searching. Democrats are just reeling after Vice President Harris lost not only battleground states, but Trump made dramatic inroads with suburban voters, Latinos, and young men. Trump also made significant gains in solidly blue states like New Jersey. Biden, for example, won Passaic County by 16 points in 2020. Trump flipped it this year. Now, one of these sources also tells me Democrats need to find a better way to address voters' concerns when it comes to issues like the economy, immigration. They say Harris didn't spend enough time talking about those critical issues. And there is concern, Lester, that this is not just about the presidential race. There are some critical gubernatorial and down ballot races in the next cycle. And these lawmakers say if the party doesn't fix this, it could hurt them with those races that are coming up in the future, Lester.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.